In Scarface, very cool. Yeah. Crack cocaine, they think The Wire.
Oh, in that sense? Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't know how similar the chemical compounds are.
Well, the only difference between crack cocaine and cocaine is sodium bicarbonate and water and heat, literally.
That's it?
Well, I mean, to make it, yeah,
and those
but
things are pretty much free if you go to,
chemical
like,
compounds
a
are a little
store.
bit different.
This is free. You can go to your neighborhood convenience store and just get. Anyway, I don't want to tell people how to make crack cocaine, but it literally is a mayonnaise jar, cocaine, and baking soda.
How different is the experience?
It's vastly, vastly different. And like for real, I feel really reluctant to kind of have some euphoric discussion. I know you're not asking me to do that, but have some euphoric discussion about crack cocaine.
I think this might be kind of the opposite here.
Okay, no, it's the exact opposite. I'm saying I don't want to have the experience of some euphoric recall. That's how powerful crack cocaine is. Does crack cocaine make you act any differently? No. Is it safer
like
than
a euphoric
alcohol?
flashback just by thinking about it?
People think of crack as being dirty. It's the exact opposite. When you make crack, what you're doing is you're burning off all the impurities so that it combines with the sodium bicarbonate, which makes it smokable. That's all. You know, all of these actors and, you know, people in the past that talked about they had a problem with cocaine and freebasing. They were smoking crack.
So straw on the stove is the same thing?
Not exactly, but close to it. But it's a little bit different. But anyway.
Very interesting. Well.
59 months Bozo, welcome me to the jungle, Mr. Millionaire, please.
Oh, there's here? Oh, there's highlights over here.
xQc.
I was drinking so much alcohol, almost a handle of vodka a day. And alcohol is the most destructive drug.
Chat, out of all people to do interviews, chat, guys, I wonder how this interview even came about, though. Like, did he just reach out to every possible people that are, like, in the political sphere that's, like, available or whatever? Like, that seems to be, it's kind of a prestigious kind of, not prestigious, but, you know, it's gonna, you wouldn't expect that to be the next interview.
Not just to your body, but it puts you in more danger than any other drug that I've ever experienced. And then you add on top of that the amount of crack that I was using at the time. And crack cocaine, in terms of your physical health, is not as dangerous as the situation that you put yourself in to be able to obtain it.
How do you get crack?
One of the things I don't want to do is give a how-to to any moron like myself that may think that it's a good idea. But
chat, they're going to make crack cores about this, by the way.
I am fully aware when I'm talking about it in relationship to my own experience with it. It is still a shocking thing for most people, because we have been fed this perception of crack cocaine. It's more than just a drug. It's more than, like, if you say meth or if you say heroin or if you say cocaine. It comes with a whole bunch of different baggage. And because of that, places that you can go get it are some of the most dangerous places in whatever location you happen to be in. And it's everywhere. Mainly for that reason, I learned how to make my own.
Oh.
You read...
he gets the household items and
pretend like you're not getting attacked by a bee right now.
On a stove.
Hey, that's all right.
Keep my train of thought.
Without them, we would all die.
Just trying to, by the way, that's true too. Birds aren't real, but bees are.
Good morning, America and the world.
Interesting.
Of former President Joe Biden, who issued a full and unconditional pardon for Hunter during his final month in office, shortly after Hunter was found guilty of tax-related crimes and being an illegal drug user in possession of a firearm. Hunter has yet to speak to the media about this pardon and hasn't done a televised interview in years.
Sure, I guess I don't even care about the pardon. All this shit, I never care about it because it's like, it's whatever. Like, I feel like everybody does it. It's kind of, people will pick and choose if they're mad or not about it. But it's just the fact that he said that he wouldn't do it specifically. That's the only thing I care about, is that he said specifically to that thing that he wouldn't do it. That's all I care about. That's it. It's just about, yeah.
In fact, aside from a very limited and controlled press run to promote his new book, Beautiful Things of 2021, Hunter hasn't given a single statement to the media, especially in regard to the laptop scandal that was a crucial component in the Stop the Steal movement back in 2020, wherein millions of Trump supporters alleged that Joe Biden was being controlled and manipulated by nefarious foreign actors who leveraged their business connections with Hunter to peddle
There are no victimless crimes. People need to stop using that term so broadly. Victimless crime, buddy. That is so short-sighted. There's a reason why we have laws and rules, buddy. it disintegrates the fabric of society and the order that we have. Even the small stuff, it disintegrates, especially if you do it as oh, I'm allowed to do this, I'm allowed to do this, and then it just becomes worse. It is what it is. It's just what it is. And so the victim is society.
Influence in the White House. As I mentioned, this alleged intel connects to private messages and emails that were found on a laptop that Rudy Giuliani and his lawyer claim Hunter left in a computer repair shop in Delaware sometime in 2020.
So like this guy, where's he at? Abusing Amazon's return policy is a victimless crime. Okay, so here's why the policy used to be very loose, so that it's quick, it's relevant people that need the help, and their shit gets scuffed, right? They get a good whatever return or refund or whatever, right? But when people abuse it, right? Then they see people abusing it, and they fix it in a way that they see people as threats, and now they're more defensive, and now people get less leeway when it comes down to returns policies. And that hurts everybody who legitimately has a problem with their order because you scammed it. It's not a victimless crime. This hurts because you're making a high trust system less trustworthy. Therefore, you're hurting everybody with it. That's just stupid. So victimless crime, that's not true. And there's also other victims of that, but it's whatever.
After the laptop repairman, John Paul Mac Isaac, pictured here, essentially leaked its contents to the world. Along with evidence of alleged corruption, tax evasion, and influence peddling, what was also leaked from the laptop is nearly a decade of private photos of Hunter in the thralls of crack cocaine addiction. These photos, if you can remember, circulated like wildfire across the internet, painting a sleazy portrait of a man on the edge. Something of a Pennsylvania Avenue Charlie Sheen minus the HIV diagnosis. Which, if you've seen the photos, is a major blessing. All right, in today's interview, we're going to discuss the laptop, the 2020 election, crack cocaine, and more, with an emphasis on recovery and away from gossip and family drama. And by the way, if you'd like to listen to or download an audio version of this interview, I've uploaded a crispy WAV file to the podcast feed of our long-form program, 5Cast, which is available now on Spotify. Ladies and gentlemen, Hunter Biden. All right, Mr. Biden.
Only 9 minutes.
Thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. How long has it been since you've done a formal sit-down interview?
You know, it's been a while.
Can I
been
get to
a long while.
unbanned
I had a
Big
conversation
Juicer,
with Jamie Harrison, who's the former chair of the DNC. He's a great friend, loyal. And I was down in South Carolina for other things and kind of like family down there. So I sat down with him and talked about some stuff, but nothing like this.
What made you feel like now's the time for a official, unedited long form?
Well, I don't know when it is the right time or not the right time. I'm an admirer of your work, and we have a mutual acquaintance. It didn't take me much to agree to be really interested. I think the work that you've done is some of the most interesting commentary on the moment we're living in. The expanded moment that we seem to be continuing to live in of the from 2020 on. I hadn't seen much of the earlier work that you had done, but I do.
Jay, you gotta say though. People, no, I'm not just saying that. Okay, just don't twist my words. For how long Biden was president, right? People always say presidents like they scumaz, they make billions of dollars during the presidency. Yeah, they make like he seems to be 4 years is long. It's a full stay. Oh, I mean, compared to the limit, no, it's a half, but still, like he still seems to be living. Yeah, this is probably a rich spot, whatever, right? Seems to be living like decent, above average, like lifestyle.
No,
I think it's kind of cool to see. I'm not lying. I think it's cool to see that. Hold on. Like, what? What's my point? Oh man, I'm done.
I at least appreciate the sincerity with which you approach everything that you do.
I appreciate it. You said 2020 on. Do you feel like that's the year the world kind of went crazy?
No. I think that's the year that we all kind of woke up to the realization that
the point is that he's rich, but how much people make it seem like the presidents are like scumazing everybody for personal gain or whatever. You would expect to be it closer to what the public says, and it's not. And it's kind of like I think it kind of opens your eye a little bit.
Are crazy, but no, I think that they've been going crazy for a while, and I don't know whether crazy is the right word. I think that I don't know how interested people are in my my take on why I think the world is a little bit crazy right now.
Well, I think there's probably millions of people out there who just want to know how you're doing.
Personally, I'm great. I tell everybody, and Melissa gets kind of upset with me because it has been obviously a difficult time. You know, the past 5 years have not, at least from any outsider's perspective, been fun. But for me, as a person in recovery, and being able to maintain that recovery through this and stay clean and sober throughout it, it's one thing I allow myself to take some pride in. And I know about my life is that I survived almost certain death.
Yeah, you know, this is awful, like weird.
I mean,
Like, it's just
I don't know if
weird.
you read
No,
my
check
book, but I'm
mods.
pretty transparent about it. Having survived that hell kind of prepared me to be able to make it through kind of the public humiliation that, I don't know any other way to put it, that I've experienced over the past close to 5 years now. And it doesn't seem to stop.
That's not my worst
but
take. He
I'm more
doesn't seem like he's
grounded in
living
who
like
I am,
an insane
what matters
lifestyle
to me,
in terms of money.
and what I'm grateful for on a daily basis than I've ever been in my life. And physically, I'm in a hell of a lot better shape than I was since my last drink or drug 6 years ago.
So it's been 6 years.
Yeah, just over 6 years.
When you say you almost died, can you kind of give us some more context?
I was a drinker, and
Based on
at the
nothing,
end, my
Dude, it's just my basic read. Maybe sometimes my read is off, but just in general, like by yeah, you can be deceived by that, but by the looks of people, by what they have at their house, by what they wear, by what's on their arms and stuff like that, you can have a decent read on where they're at and what kind of lifestyle they're living at. Usually. My thing, I don't even my read is too far off. I think it looks fine, but you can make me sound bad if you want to. I don't mind.
So much that it was potentially deadly on a daily basis. The thing that was the most concerning and the most real about facing death was in actuality the alcohol. Once you fall into that lifestyle, and I wouldn't call it a lifestyle because there's no life to it at all. You enter a completely different world in which you're living kind of completely outside of the bounds of any communal norms. I don't know. It's a scary place to be. And I met some of the most truly heroic, astounding, thoughtful, kind people that I've ever met in my life that are living, lives of quiet desperation, not quiet, very loud desperation, but even in that, found space in their hearts for empathy and kindness. And I've met some of the most awful, predatory people.
You need to go to Walmart for something else and get
See, mods, it's delayed. Like this one with TTS, this is an old TTS that played. It's like
xQcl.
This is like fucking. Like what the? It's fucked. It's been fucked. I need some help with that, man.
That I've ever experienced in my life.
So you feel that the thralls of addiction do oftentimes swallow up very genuine, earnest people, but at the same time, that underbelly is home to a specific breed of evil as well?
One of the things that I've realized is that addiction is one of the most universal conditions. I don't know many people that have not been impacted by it in some way, whether it's addiction to drugs or addiction to behaviors. They have the same dilatory effect on not just you, but more importantly, on your immediate community, your family.
Guys, let's be honest, guys. There's 2 minutes left.
And it just spirals outward. And I don't know anybody that hasn't been impacted by drugs and alcohol in a really significant way, or at least a way in which it's created trauma in their own personal lives and the lives of those that they really love. And so while it's universal, it's something that we rarely talk about. And it's kind of the way in which we treat drug use it's something that someone else is doing, and that someone else happens to be your brother.
That can be video games, pornography, screen time, fucking. This is all of them.
Sister,
Gambling is
your mom, your
all
dad,
of them.
yourself, your coworker,
Food.
And it only becomes a problem when it becomes a problem for you.
Do you think that you would have been treated differently by the media if your addiction was to an opiate?
People are more judgmental of people that are addicted to drugs, right? In ways that affect those drug users perhaps less than some of their own addictions affect their own lives, which I think is problematic. It's not because it's drugs that it's automatically worse. For some people, they say, yeah, I'm an addict, and genuinely, you look at it, and it doesn't really even affect their lives. You can't even tell that they're addicts. You didn't even know it was happening. But you might be addicted to things that make your life quality a lot worse than their addiction does for them. But people won't accept that as see a lot of question marks in the chat. People won't accept that just because of the words. Drug equals much worse. That's just not true. That's just not true.
Or perhaps methamphetamine as opposed to crack, which kind of has a racialized context to it.
Well, maybe, I don't know. Because it depends upon what media you're talking about. Because what is the media? You know, I think it was just an added bonus for them that they could say crack addict and everybody would go, oh my God, he's a monster. So I think for those that wanted to use it as a bludgeon, it's easier when you slap the word crack addict onto it. It made me a lot easier target for the Don Juniors of the world, you know, the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world, just because of their inherent kind of meanness about things. But I'm not a victim here. I was a crack addict. You know, I wrote about it. I was transparent about it. I wasn't naive to the idea that somehow that would be something that anyone or everyone would be able to fully comprehend.
Why are they bringing fucking photos of personal videos into fucking Congress? That's kind of crazy, dude. Like, what was that for anyway? Bro.
And have empathy for. We're lacking empathy across the board, not just for Hunter Biden. But I guess I was a little bit surprised in terms of a lot of people in the press, whether it was the New York Times or the New York Post, kind of dismissed addiction as somehow unique to my family. Or
well, not only is it illegal, I'm pretty sure it's also personal though. No, is that not his own his own shit? Like, bro, it's not even a defended thing. It's just a thing. Like how could that not count as revenge porn and shit? It's just odd. It's just odd. I think it's pointless.
Without taking into account what they were doing to other people that were looking to get clean and sober. One of the things about getting clean and sober, at least I found, I don't know what your experience in your life or with your friends or others is, one of the things that keeps us in the cycle of addiction is our guilt and our shame. Is the lies we tell ourselves and the lies that we tell the people that we care about the most. And you get clean and you get sober, and what ends up happening is you still hold on to these secrets. Like, I smoke crack. I was a crack smoker. They know that I did cocaine, or they know that I was drinking, but they don't know that I was also an inveterate drug user. And so you keep that secret, and that guilt kind of boils up. And the only place that you can talk about it is in rooms full of virtual strangers, which is really helpful. But it isn't it doesn't release you from that awful feeling that I'm about to be found out, and that anxiety. And so then you get triggered. Your brain tells you to do the only thing that it's learned how to do, is that you need to save yourself. And the fastest way to save yourself is a drink or a drug. So you get caught in this loop. And the favor that they did for me is I don't have any more secrets. Now, not everything that's been said about me is true, but there are the things that most people would be very embarrassed about. I've been very open about. I spent more time on my hands and knees picking through rugs, smoking anything that even remotely resembled crack cocaine. I probably smoked more Parmesan cheese than anyone. And so I don't get triggered in the same way. But the thing that scares me is for people that look at the way that I'm treated in the media, whatever the hell the media is, and think, do I want to get honest? I mean, seems to me, if you look at that as a test case, better to keep some things unsaid. And I think that's really dangerous for people, at least in my experience with recovery.
Chat.
Honest? I mean.
Chat, under Biden chat, that says what? That says brother? Son? Oh. Interesting. I gotta be honest with you though. What? It's kind of weird to me that like people care that much about their like relatives or some shit. I think it's fucking irrelevant. I don't care.
So I can remember.
You guys say question mark? What about it? What do you say question mark for? Explain why you say question mark. I don't give a shit. What if would I care?
Remember covering the 2020 election.
If I make it the president, and my son as a as a grown-up adult of like fucking 40 years old, okay, goes out and fucking smokes crack and does shit, what the fuck does it matter? Like, how does that discredit me? Growing up on his own as a grown-up adult, it's like, that's freedom. You have the freedom to fucking fuck your shit up. It is what it is. I mean,
And about a year later,
you're an adult. You want to go and smoke some crack? Okay, I guess smoke some crack. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you to do that. It's illegal, but.
and I think it was the first Stop the Steal rally at Reading Terminal Market in Philadelphia, and I saw what I thought was a BLM flag, Black Lives Matter, but it actually said Biden's laptop matters. And so I asked the guy, what the hell does that mean? And he just sort of kept yelling the slogan over and over again. Couldn't get much out of him.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, what happened with that?
Well, I don't know. You tell me. And I really mean that sincerely. Like, you'll have a lot of people that will come up with something about the laptop. But I always say,
Yeah, I do blame the parents for like when there's like adolescents and children doing like crimes or whatever. But that's not a child though. This is an adult.
to anybody, I mean, you're steeped in the, and just through your work, the right-wing narrative around it. And my question to anybody that is keeping an open mind is, what is it that you think the laptop proves, or what you call the laptop? So everybody has a laptop. So when they say Hunter Biden's laptop, what is it that they're talking about? Do you know?
Well, I know that you, your entire iCloud was connected to it, all of your personal text messages, private photos, all that kind of stuff.
Like everybody's laptop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so,
you left it with a repair shop owner who, for some reason, gave it to Rudy Giuliani. Not exactly sure how that's legal. He distributed it to the press, particularly I think the New York Post was involved in the spear.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing's awful. Why do I keep squeaking? I keep squeaking these days. The whole thing with the thing was wrong. I think it's odd. How was any of the process legal, like all throughout? Like the him keeping it, the him giving it, the him fucking then them posting the stuff on it, then posting the porn stuff on it. Dude, that's like illegal on multiple levels. It's like every instance is a crime on the multiple levels.
Your heading of this mass dissemination of your private materials. From what it seemed like, it was a lot of private text between you and your friends, family. Your entire sort of private life was on there.
Yeah. And again, so everybody has a laptop. Everybody.
Oh, so you left it over there, and the guy, he forfeited it. Okay, interesting. But then you still have to. It doesn't give you the right to do all that with the information, though.
I'm assuming not.
No. Not everybody has a laptop. Everybody has a digital life. Almost everybody has a digital life.
It's still revenge porn.
Pretty
It's
much.
still all
and
that.
That includes voicemails and pictures and text messages and emails and location data and everything. Everybody.
Guys,
You do.
If I live at a place, okay, and I pay rent at an apartment, somebody ships a shipment to me, okay. And then I move out and I forgot, and the shipment goes onto the porch and it stays there and it's forfeited to whatever, right? It doesn't mean you can open the mail of somebody else's name on it and then fucking post it somewhere, or you can't do that. There are laws with these things. There are laws with items. There are laws with everything. You guys act like it's like, I found it. It's mine. I can do whatever. Dude, life isn't like that, little buddy.
Everybody that is here right now, by whatever means, they got my digital footprint going back decades, over 20 years. Again, I ask anybody, you're steeped in this, and this isn't a challenging question, but it kind of makes my point. What does my laptop prove about
I thought it was some ties to like some Russia thing or
anything,
some shit like that people were saying.
Which I had already readily admitted to, completely transparent about, is my drug addiction.
Well, I'm trying to remember specifically what the most radical conspiracies that I heard. I think that a lot of people are concerned or curious about various international business dealings.
So I served on the board of well over a dozen different entities. Way more than that, including major global organizations. I was the vice chairman of the board of the National Passenger Rail Corporation, which is otherwise known as Amtrak. It's the largest passenger rail company in the world, which is more than just a rail company. It's also a real estate company. It's also a commercial real estate company. It's a residential real estate company. And it is probably the largest owners of property in urban metro centers of any organization in in the country, and a huge employer and a multi-billion-dollar business. And I was the chairman of the corporate governance committee on that board and vice chairman and elected chairman and then resigned before the Obama administration took. So I told you before, I was the chairman of the board of the UN World Food Program, responsible for sustaining a budget above $2 billion a year for the World Food Program and the contribution the United States makes to the global relief effort as it relates to hunger.
So he stepped down from all that before Biden president.
Chairman of the board of the Center for National Policy. I was on the board of
the
Catholic
first part.
Charities. I was on the board of Jesuit Volunteer Corps Northwest. I was on the board. I mean, I keep going down the list of board memberships that I had. And a year and a half before.
And a crackhead. I don't give a fuck about him being a crackhead, bro. Out of all the things that I'll tell you I care about, like somebody being a crackhead on the personal time, I couldn't give a fuck. Okay. I don't think you understand it. The percentage of the elites that you look at, or even some of you looked up to, that are on cocaine very regularly. It is what it is. I mean, what can you do? I don't give a shit.
My dad was to leave office. I was approached by a Ukrainian natural gas company through one of their board members to consider being of assistance to a company that was being threatened by the Russian aggression and the invasion of Crimea and the incursions into Donetsk and the Donbass. And I took them on as a client because I was a partner of counsel, at Boyd Schiller Flexner, which was a major national global law firm, in which I focused on corporate governance and commercial law. And I represented them for about a 3-month period of time. And through that representation, they asked if I would join the board, which I did. The day that I joined the board, I announced it and sent out a press release of the reasons why that I was joining the board, which came and went and did not become an issue until Rudy Giuliani, along with a guy named Andrei Derkach and a number of others that have all been convicted of treason for being Russian agents, came up with a conspiracy that Joe Biden was involved in a bribery scheme.
The FBI arrested the person who offered those allegations for falsifying his testimony to the FBI.
For over a 10-year period of time, I worked with a group of people that had a cross-border private equity firm inside of China, and I had a business that was based around advisory for multinational global funds, private equity funds, doing infrastructure.
Okay, guys, there's so many hoops and shit like that. You would have to simplify this. I don't know what the fuck the story is. I don't know where we're at anymore. I don't know.
I was asked to join a fund, the startup inside of China that was had a headquarters in Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong, and New York. And I had a 10% equity stake in that, of which I paid, I made my equity contribution in that, just like every other member of that.
Federal officials are looking at his foreign business dealings, including his ties to a Chinese energy company.
And those are my two foreign business dealings.
Yeah, because I was kind of looking into it, and it seems like the conspiracy is that through those connections that you had.
Oh, and also, is there anything incriminating in there that's like some bad thing or whatever, or is that like some I don't see it.
To these, I guess, foreign governments, they were using you to leverage pressure onto your dad somehow.
Like what?
Well, that's the thing, is that when you're looking
I'm not putting you on the spot. And I guess my whole point is that I asked these same questions to the House Oversight Committee. I've been investigated by the House Oversight Committee, the House Ways and Means Committee, the House Judiciary Committee, the Senate Judiciary Committee, the Senate Oversight Committee, and I have been investigated by Maine Justice, the U.S. Attorney in Pittsburgh, the U.S. Attorney in Philadelphia, the U.S. Attorney in District of Columbia, the U.S. Attorney in Los Angeles, the U.S. Attorney of Delaware, the Special Counsel's Office. Not one single person has ever accused me of a crime based upon anything that was in or discovered as it relates to my laptop. Not one. Not a single thing about my laptop. So this whole idea that there was some conspiracy to cover up the laptop, they uncovered 20 years unvarnished of every single communication.
So if he was some criminal, people said it was like he would have to be a mastermind to escape all those bodies and all those organizations. It would have to be like the fucking like the world's evil
I've ever had
probably
over a phone,
let's be honest, unlikely,
or by text,
especially given
or over email or
crack,
computer in any digital way. There's not one communication that you can even remotely
he got pardoned
say
for the
is
tax
evidence
stuff.
of a crime. Not one. Not one time, not one communication. I would challenge
I think that's
anybody
bullshit, but
to show one instance, other than me seeking drugs for myself, for my own personal use, okay? Or women, as it relates to, people that were in the drug trade that I would seek for the purchase of drugs. One single.
Yeah, but what is he doing though? Like, what is?
Like one single instance in which anyone has accused anyone, used any one of those communications as evidence of any kind of crime at all. Now, take that, okay? That's it. So you say Hunter Biden's laptop. What? By the way, I'm talking out there to people that I would assume are, or want to be on my side, or at least want to be on the side that I'm a part of. What about Hunter Biden's laptop? How about this? Well, it was a cover-up. Twitter took it down, and it was a big cover-up, And you have Matt Taibbi and all these guys that say, yeah, it was that Twitter took it down and Facebook took it down.
It seems that big tech only censors, media companies only censor stories when they're negative towards the Biden campaign.
You know why they took it down?
It was some preemptive thing or some shit. Like I remember this. No, it's not some conspiracy shit. It was like I think they had a tip or something like that, or they were on edge about something, and they preemptively did some shit. Oh, you'll explain again.
What they did was they published naked photos of me and women, which is in violation of their terms, and which, by the way, is a criminal act under the new federal law that was passed by accredited to Melania Trump, with universal support in the House and the Senate. That's why they took it down. It wasn't a cover-up. And then you had 100 forms.
But did they take down posts that did not have the sensitive material and the pornography and stuff? If they took down everything related to it, bad. I thought the reason was different though. I thought they were tipped off about some information that was going to come in, and they preemptively pre-censored for 24 hours ahead of time, and it still went through afterwards, which does attenuate information a lot, but yeah.
Where national security officials come out and say, this looks like it could be a Russian op. Because it is. Because in the course of an election, what happens? You have Rudy Giuliani in conjunction with Steve Bannon, in conjunction with Miles Gow, who's...
Guys, the only reason why certain news stayed for long is the day it's breaking news goes massive. If it's a full 24 hours, that's still relevant though, dude. Like, people need to stop doing cop-outs. I understand this thing is kind of a nothing burger overall, but a 24-hour shutdown on a big fucking breaking news is a big fucking deal. It's a big fucking for any side or whatever. It's fucking crazy.
Jail, who is,
Come on, bro.
How many ever counts of fraud and bribery, and is a Chinese national, was working directly with Steve Bannon, and a number of others, including Bernie Kerik, who, God rest his soul, is dead, that basically came out and said, we have Hunter Biden's laptop. And the big reveal about Hunter Biden's laptop was that I was a crack addict. But, unfortunately for them, I had already admitted that I was a crack addict in the pages of the New Yorker.
Only the posts that were taken down were the ones that linked the hacking material. Fair enough.
And did a 13,000-word article with Adam Entos, in which I told everything about myself and my own struggles. And they just simply conflated the two. They said, well, Joe Biden fired the prosecutor in Ukraine to benefit his son. Completely.
Okay, I don't care about the rest of this anyway.